Royals women's basketball winners tonight over North Greenville by a final of 98-71. I'm joined courtside by head coach Sarah Jansen. Coach, tonight your team extremely balanced offensively. You had you had 3 with 5 made field goals, 1 with 6. You also had Herning Wong getting involved, particularly from the foul line as well. And so many of those shots set up by assists. How nice was it to see your team kind of getting everyone involved and helping everyone contribute?
Yeah, it's good. I felt like it was a good team game for us. The ball moved pretty well. It didn't stick. And what we try to do offensively takes time. And I think it's something that will only kind of get better as the year progresses. And you got to see a little bit of glimpses of that. I do think we were able to kind of score some easy baskets out of our defense. So just kind of a good balance all across the board.
And Kiara Levi really found her stroke beyond the arc tonight, 5 for 8. Your team shot 9 for 16 from 3 tonight. Levi a little bit down in the 2 conference games after starting out pretty hot. Did you see kind of your team feeding off that a little bit? Obviously, she plays with a lot of energy. We've talked about that, but when she starts hitting like that, how does that help the team?
Yeah, and it's almost like the 3 is kind of contagious. So if I've seen it before where one player hits one and the other one's like, well, if she makes it, then I can make it too. And I think her and Mindy kind of hit some shots, especially in the first half, to kind of give us put us on a couple runs. And her Kiara is still learning of where her perimeter shots are going to come from, and once she gets a better understanding of that, I think she's going to see the floor open up a little bit more for her as well. Now,
conversely, for North Greenville, this is a team that really lives and dies by the 3. 2 of their last 3 games, 29 threes they took. They took 19 tonight, only made 4, and Karen Donahue, their star, 20 points total, but that really doesn't tell you the whole story because she only had 5 in the first half. She was basically silent for a while. What takeaways do you think your team can have of really focusing in on the strengths of another team and being able to really shut them down tonight?
Yeah, it's something that I don't think you can start to do those things until you can be solid enough defensively in what you're trying to do. I felt like we were at a point where we could try to kind of take some things away. We tried to not let her touch it in the first half. It worked out pretty well for us, and she got loose a little bit there in the second half. But overall, I felt like we did a pretty decent job. I mean, it's hard to say that when she still scored 20 and shot the ball pretty well from the floor. But I feel like, especially in the first half, she had to work to get some shots. So that was good for us to be able to kind of see if we could lock in and really try to take something away from the other team.
Now, in the second half, North Greenville started to press you a lot and got in that one particular stretch in the mid-third quarter. A lot of intense back and forth, some fast ball, everybody moving up and down the floor, and there was the timeout with the question of the fouls that kind of calmed things down. And then right out of that timeout, you came away with, I believe, an and one and some really good possessions right out. What did you see from your team with that energy at a time like that to really make sure the Crusaders didn't come back in this game?
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about. I think there was like 2:34, 2:35 left on the clock in the third quarter, and just see if what we could do in that stretch. And we were able to score and then come down and get stopped. So I felt like that was a really good stretch for us. We don't like to play up and down too much. Tried to slow it down a little bit. And we were able to do that last 2 minutes and make sure that we were controlling the tempo. It got to the point where they were controlling, dictating the tempo more than we would like. So that kind of extended timeout there, it was almost like another halftime. That definitely helped us and we're able to kind of settle down a little bit and refocus on what we're trying to do.
Now, Reggie Walker on the air called your line change, if you will, at the end, almost John Calipari-esque when you got 5 new players in the game. What did you see from that combination as they were obviously communicating very well till the end, fighting, drawing fouls, doing a nice job, kind of executing overall? What did you see from that 5?
Yeah, just some good things from especially from Mel. I can't say enough about Melissa Blatnick and kind of what she's done for us, but she was the one that was out there and was vocal, and I know for a fact a year ago she wouldn't have done that. So it's good to kind of see her evolution and Victoria Robinson as well, and they got in there playing with Herning. So it was a good mix, and you can kind of see, you always like to, as a coach, you kind of know what your top 8 are going to do, or you like to think you're going to do, but to be able to put people in at the end of the game and see them still trying to run the same system, I think is big, and some really good takeaways from that.
So now on to another SAC opponent as we get back into conference play in the Anderson Trojans on Saturday. Team that took a big loss to Carson Newman tonight, but nonetheless in the top 4 of the league standings. What do you expect on the floor from the Trojans in a tough road game here early in conference play?
Yeah, they're historically one of the better teams in the SAC, and going down there is a tough place to play. They have some veteran players and some a pretty good blend of some youth, some sophomores that were really solid for them last year, and we know that we're going to have to come out and try to stay true to who we are and not let anything that they do change that.
Well, Queens again winners tonight, 98-71 over North Greenville. A big win for you. Head coach Sarah Jansen, thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.